Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is an absolutely beautiful Thursday, but the drama in our favorite soap world is anything but peaceful. Grab your coffee, or maybe pour yourself something a whole lot stronger, because the chaos we have to unpack today is just off the charts. I am honestly exhausted just watching it, but we need to talk about it. Let's dive right in. So, let's talk about the absolute explosion that just happened at Il Giardino. I mean, we all knew Brooke Logan Forrester was going to completely lose her mind over Hope jumping ship to Logan Designs. We knew it was coming. We saw the build-up. But seeing it actually play out on our screens, wow, just wow. I am honestly exhausted just watching her spiral. It's like Brooke has completely forgotten that Hope is a grown woman, a mother, and a professional with a career of her own. She's treating her daughter like a toddler who wandered out of the front yard without permission. And honestly, I need to vent about this for a second. Hope has been suffering so much lately. We saw her having literal panic attacks before the Logan fashion show. She was terrified of her mother's reaction. Terrified. What kind of dynamic is that? But she did it anyway. She got out there, she launched Hope by Logan, and it was a massive, undeniable hit. Deke Sharp's designs were incredible. The fashion world is eating it up. You would think a mother would be proud. You would think Brooke would look at her daughter and say, hey, you made a really bold business move and it paid off. But no, not Brooke. Instead, Brooke is on a complete warpath. We already saw her go full Godzilla in Katie's office, smashing monitors and declaring her own sister enemy #1. But apparently, that wasn't enough to get the rage out of her system. No, Brooke had to track Hope down to unleash the rest of her fury directly on her daughter. And where does she find her? At Il Giardino, because of course it happens at Il Giardino. Everything happens at that restaurant. So Brooke storms into the restaurant. She doesn't care who is watching. She doesn't care about making a public scene. She just starts screaming at Hope about the betrayal. The betrayal at Logan Designs. She's acting like Hope committed some kind of unforgivable war crime against Forrester Creations. And Hope is just sitting there, taking it. Her heart is breaking. You can literally see it in her eyes. She just wanted her mom to support her for once. But Brooke is just hammering her, telling her she's ruined everything, that she's turned her back on her family, that she is making the biggest mistake of her entire life. But then, Deacon Sharp steps in. And you guys, I have to say, I actually cheered at my screen. I really did. Deacon, who is usually the guy making the mistakes, the guy apologizing for his past, he just steps right in between Brooke and Hope, like a literal shield. He tells Brooke to back off. He tells her to stop screaming at their daughter in the middle of his restaurant. And he says the one thing that someone desperately needed to say to Brooke: Hope deserves an independent career. It was such a powerful moment. Short punches, boom, boom, boom. Deacon just laying down the law and refusing to let Brooke bulldoze their kid. Brooke, of course, absolutely loses it. She cannot handle anyone challenging her, especially not Deacon. She immediately flips the script and starts accusing Deacon of being the mastermind behind all of this. She actually stands there in the middle of the dining room and accuses Deacon of poisoning Hope's mind against the Logan family. Like, what? What is she even talking about? Let's be real for a second here. Katie Logan is the one who hired Hope. Katie Logan is the one who orchestrated this whole thing to blindside Eric and Steffy and Ridge. Katie is the one sitting in her office right now, smug and victorious, planning her next corporate move. But somehow, in Brooke's twisted, delusional mind, this is Deacon's fault, because Deacon is. What? Brainwashing Hope through the pizza dough. It makes absolutely zero sense. It's just Brooke refusing to accept that Hope made a major life decision on her own. Brooke always has to find a villain to blame, and right now, it's Deacon. So they get into this massive, heated argument, a full-blown screaming match. Brooke is yelling about legacy and loyalty and how Deacon is ruining Hope's life by encouraging this rebellion. Deacon is yelling right back, saying that Forrester Creations was suffocating her, which, by the way, is completely true. Ridge literally just promoted Zende to lead designer of Hope for the future without even telling Hope. They treat her like a mascot, not a boss. Deacon points this out. He tells Brooke that Hope has real ambition and she deserves to spread her wings and be the CEO she was meant to be. And you know, maybe I'm being too harsh on Brooke. Maybe she's just reacting out of shock. Okay, no, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. She's hurt. I get that she is hurt. But her hurt is so incredibly toxic right now. While these two are tearing into each other, the camera keeps panning to Hope, and it is just heartbreaking to watch. The rift between her parents is tearing her apart. She's always been the peacemaker of the family. She's always wanted Brooke and Deacon to get along and just be a normal, supportive family. But seeing them at each other's throats over her career, it's breaking her heart into a million pieces. But then, something shifts in Hope. You can see the realization wash over her face. She's sitting there, listening to her mother call her a traitor and a victim, and then she listens to her father. Deacon isn't treating her like a victim. Deacon is treating her like a powerhouse. He is the only one who actually understands her ambition right now. Liam is supportive, sure, but Liam is always kind of just floating along, trying to keep the peace. Deacon gets it. Deacon knows what it's like to be the underdog, to want to build something for yourself when the whole world is telling you no. Hope realizes that Deacon is the only one in her corner who truly sees her. Not as an extension of Brooke, not as a Forrester employee, but as Hope, the businesswoman, the visionary. And then Deacon drops the absolute hammer. He looks Brooke dead in the eye and he swears that he will protect Hope at all costs, by any means necessary. He vows to protect her ambition and her new career, even if it means he has to face off against the entire Forrester clan. And even if it means going to war with Brooke herself. Chills, you guys, literal chills. Because think about what that actually means in the context of the show. The Forresters are out for blood right now. Steffy is plotting some kind of aggressive, cutthroat vengeance against the Hope by Logan Brand. She is furious that Eric's haute couture show got completely overshadowed and ruined. Ridge is so mad he's firing people he literally just had Donna escorted out of the building for keeping Katie's secret. Eric is giving Donna the silent treatment, and their marriage is basically over. The Forresters are acting like a mafia family right now, purging anyone who isn't 100% loyal to the crown. And Deacon is just one guy with a restaurant. But he is stepping up to fight all of them for his daughter. It's a huge shift in the power dynamics of the show. For years, Deacon has been the guy begging for scraps of respect from the Forresters and from Brooke. He's always been the outcast, the ex-con, the guy who isn't good enough. But now he doesn't care. He is drawing a massive line in the sand. He is choosing Hope over his history with Brooke, over his fear of Ridge, over absolutely everything. I just keep thinking about how this fits into the bigger pattern of the show. We are so used to Brooke being the ultimate matriarch who gets her way. When Brooke cries, Ridge comes running. When Brooke demands something, the universe usually bends to make it happen. But not this time. Katie stood up to her, and now Deacon is standing up to her. Brooke is losing her grip on her family, and she is spiraling because of it. And what about Deacon's other storylines? I mean, we can't forget that Sheila Carter just crept back into town. She is blackmailing Taylor for visitation with Baby Hayes. Taylor is terrified. Deacon has been getting close to Taylor, trying to build a real romance there. How is this massive war with Brooke and the Forresters going to impact Deacon and Taylor? If Deacon is going to war with Steffy to protect Hope, how can he possibly be dating Steffy's mother? The complications are just endless. It's so messy. It is so messy. But back to the El Giardino scene. The argument finally ends with Brooke storming out. Of course she storms out. She can't win the argument with logic, so she just leaves in a huff, probably to go cry to Ridge and plot how to save Hope from herself. Leaving Hope and Deacon alone, and you just know that Hope is feeling this massive mix of conflicting emotions. She is devastated that her mother is turning her back on her. But she is also feeling this incredible, overwhelming sense of validation from her dad. He sees her, he respects her, he is willing to fight for her. Honestly, I think this is exactly what Hope needed. She needed someone to validate her ambition. For so long, she has been the sweet, innocent Hope who just wants to do good in the world and make everyone happy. But she has sharp edges too. She wants to be a successful businesswoman. She wants to be at the absolute top of the fashion industry. Katie saw that in her, which is why she hired her. And Deacon sees that in her, which is why he is defending her so fiercely. Brooke is the only one who still wants Hope to be a little girl playing dress-up in the Forrester design room. And it makes you wonder what is going to happen next. Will Deacon actually have to physically step between Hope and Steffy, because Steffy is not going to let this go? Steffy is probably plotting right now to sabotage the Logan supply chain or buy out their manufacturers or something incredibly ruthless. Steffy plays dirty. And if Deacon is promising to protect Hope, he is going to have to get his hands dirty too. I kind of love the idea of Deacon going full protective dad mode. We've seen him be a bit of a goofball lately, flipping pizzas and dealing with Sheila's crazy antics. But let's not forget that Deacon Sharp used to be a very dangerous, very cunning guy. If he channels that energy into protecting Hope's business, the Forresters might actually have a real fight on their hands. So yeah, that's where we are. Brooke is unhinged. Deacon is the hero. Hope is caught in the middle, but finally stepping into her own power. And the Forrester-Logan war is officially the most toxic it has ever been. I know I've been rambling a bit today, but there is just so much to process here. You watch these characters for years, and sometimes they just do exactly what you expect them to do, and it is still shocking. Brooke being unable to share the spotlight with her own daughter. Typical Brooke, but Deacon standing his ground. That feels new. That feels like a real evolution for his character. And I am so here for it. I am completely strapped in for this ride. The fans on social media are already losing their minds over this scene, and I don't blame them. It is soap opera gold. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you on Brooke's side? Does anyone actually think Deacon is poisoning Hope's mind? Or are you cheering for Deacon like I am? Because honestly, I think Hope is exactly where she needs to be right now, and with Deacon guarding the door, she just might pull this off. Until next time, stay safe and keep watching the drama unfold.